I want to talk about something today that I think will surprise a lot of women. It's the little things, tiny, almost imperceptible details that men notice even when you think we're not paying attention. And trust me, we are. We live in a world where we're taught to believe that attraction is about the obvious things: appearance, charm, the words we say out loud. But what if I told you that some of the most captivating things about a woman aren't the ones she puts on display, but the ones she doesn't even realize she's revealing? Have you ever walked into a room and felt the energy shift? Maybe you didn't say a word, maybe you didn't do anything special, but still people noticed you. That's confidence, not the loud, boastful kind that demands attention, but the quiet, steady presence that says, I know who I am. Men notice this more than you might think. Confidence isn't just about standing tall or speaking boldly. It's about how you carry yourself when no one is looking. It's in the way you walk with intention, the way you make eye contact without hesitation, the way you exist in a space without apologizing for taking up room. And this kind of confidence, it isn't about being perfect. It's about being certain, not necessarily certain that you'll never make mistakes, but certain that you'll be just fine when you do. Think about the most magnetic people you've ever met. What made them unforgettable? Was it their looks, their clothes, their social status? Maybe those things played a role, but I bet what really drew you in was something deeper, something unshakable. The way they spoke with conviction, even when they weren't sure. The way they stayed calm under pressure. The way they didn't chase approval because they already knew their worth. That's what men notice. It's the woman who doesn't fidget when she's nervous because she's okay with a little silence. The one who laughs at herself when she stumbles instead of blushing with embarrassment. The one who speaks her mind even if her voice shakes a little. Confidence is also about boundaries. A woman who knows her worth doesn't over-explain when she says no. She doesn't beg for validation. She doesn't compromise her values just to make someone else comfortable. And when a woman moves through life with that kind of quiet, unshakable self-assurance, men see it, they feel it. And here's the most interesting part. Confidence isn't just about how you treat yourself. It's also about how you treat others. A confident woman isn't threatened by other people's success. She celebrates it. She lifts others up instead of tearing them down. She isn't afraid to be kind because she knows kindness isn't weakness. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room to be noticed. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. The most captivating kind of confidence isn't about shouting your value, it's about knowing it, whether anyone acknowledges it or not. And trust me, they do, even if you don't realize it. We like to think that communication is about words, what we say, how we say it, the stories we tell. But the truth is, the most powerful things we communicate often happen in the tiny, fleeting moments between words. These are micro expressions, small subconscious facial movements that last less than a second. And while they may be easy to miss, they are impossible to ignore. Men notice these more than you think. Imagine this, you're having a conversation with someone and for a split second before she answers, there's a flicker of hesitation in her eyes. It's almost imperceptible, but it's there. She might go on to say, she's fine, that everything is okay, but that moment of hesitation, it tells a different story. And whether we're aware of it or not, we feel it. Men pick up on these subtle cues all the time, even if they don't consciously realize it. It's the slight crease in a woman's forehead when she's deep in thought. The way her lips press together when she's holding something back, or the way her eyes widen for just a moment when she hears something that excites her. These are tiny moments, but they're filled with meaning. Why do these moments matter? because they reveal something real, something raw. In a world where so many of us are conditioned to filter our words, to control our emotions, and to present a carefully curated version of ourselves, these little moments of unguarded expression are honest, and honesty is magnetic. Take, for example, a woman's smile. A real smile isn't just about the mouth, it's about the eyes. A genuine smile crinkles the corners of the eyes, lights up the entire face. But a forced smile, it stops at the lips. Men might not always be able to explain the difference, but they feel it, and that feeling lingers. Or consider a moment of vulnerability. Imagine a woman is trying to be strong, to brush something off like it doesn't matter, but for a split second, her face softens. Maybe she exhales just a little too deeply, or her eyes look away before she catches herself. That single moment says more than any words ever could. And here's what's really interesting. Micro expressions don't just reveal what a person is feeling, they reveal what they haven't said out loud. They show authenticity in a way words can't. The expressions men remember, men notice. The quick, barely there look of excitement when she hears something she loves. The moment of hesitation before she admits she's upset. The flicker of warmth when she sees someone she cares about. The way her face softens when she's lost in thought. These are the moments that stay with people long after a conversation ends, because they're real. What this means for connection. If you've ever wondered why someone remembers a specific moment with you, why they recall something small you don't even remember doing, it's likely because of this. It's not just about what was said, but how it felt in the moment. And feelings are shaped by the things we don't even realize we're expressing. You don't have to perform. You don't have to try so hard to say the perfect thing or act the perfect way. The most captivating parts of you are the ones you're not even aware of, the micro expressions that reveal you. And the right people, they'll notice. In a world filled with noise, constant notifications, conversations layered with distractions, and the rush to get a word in, there's something incredibly powerful about a person who knows how to truly listen. Not just hear, but listen. Men notice this more than you might think. We've all been in conversations where someone is waiting for their turn to speak rather than actually absorbing what's being said. You can tell when someone is just nodding along, half engaged, checking their phone, or mentally drafting their response before you've even finished talking. That kind of interaction is forgettable. But when someone really listens, when they lean in, maintain eye contact, and respond in a way that shows they're present, that is unforgettable. Listening is more than just being quiet. There's a misconception that listening is simply about staying silent while someone else talks. But real listening is active. It's in the small, unconscious ways a person reacts, the way their expression changes, the way they mirror emotions, the way they make you feel heard. Men notice when a woman makes eye contact that isn't forced, but warm and engaged, reacts subtly. Maybe her brows furrow when something is serious, or her smile appears at just the right moment. Gives space for silence, allowing a conversation to breathe rather than rushing to fill every gap. Asks thoughtful follow-up questions, showing that she's actually processing what was said. Remembers details, things that weren't said to impress, but just naturally shared. Listening isn't just about words, it's about energy. When someone truly listens, you can feel it. There's a comfort in knowing you don't have to repeat yourself, that someone is really there with you in the moment. And for men who often aren't as openly expressive with emotions, this kind of presence is especially powerful. Why this matters in connection? There's something deeply attractive about a person who listens without judgment, without distraction, and without making the conversation about themselves. A woman who listens this way isn't just hearing words, she's holding space for someone. She's making them feel like what they're saying matters. And that's rare. Think about it. When was the last time you had a conversation where you truly felt heard, where someone wasn't trying to solve your problem but just let you be? That's the kind of listening men notice. It's a type of presence that makes people feel safe, seen, and understood. The subtleties that stay with us, men remember the way her eyes softened when he talked about something important to him. The way she didn't interrupt, but also didn't let the conversation go cold. The way she asked about something he mentioned weeks ago, proving she was actually paying attention. The way she let silence be comfortable instead of awkward. What this means for you. You don't have to be the loudest in the room to make an impact. Sometimes it's the quiet strength of a great listener that leaves the most lasting impression. You don't have to have all the answers or the perfect response. Just being there, fully, truly there, is enough. And trust me, men notice. Even if they don't say it out loud, they feel it and they remember. We all have the tiny, unconscious things we do every day, barely noticing them ourselves. The way we hum while making coffee, the way we tap our fingers when we're deep in thought, the way we curl up in the same corner of the couch every night, like it's our designated spot in the world. These little rituals and habits might seem insignificant, but they're the things that make us us. And men notice them more than you might think. It's easy to assume that what catches someone's attention are the big things. The way you dress up for a night out, the grand gestures, the moments where you put effort into being noticed. But the reality, the most memorable things about a person are often the ones they don't even realize they're doing. The charm of the unintentional. There's something incredibly intimate about seeing someone in their element, unguarded. It's in the way she absent-mindedly twirls a strand of hair around her finger when she's thinking, the way she bites her lip when she's concentrating, the way she stretches in the morning, arms overhead, eyes barely open, sighing as she wakes up to the world. These habits aren't rehearsed, they're not put on for show. And that's exactly why they're so captivating. They reveal something real, something deeper than the surface. Men notice things like the way she tucks her hair behind her ear when she's nervous, the way she bites the inside of her cheek when she's trying not to laugh, the way she instinctively reaches for his hand in a crowded place, the way she pulls her sleeves over her hands when she's cold, the way she always orders the same drink without even looking at the menu. None of these things are grand declarations. They're not meant to be noticed, but they are because they're uniquely hers, habits that feel like home. There's also something comforting about predictability, not in a boring way, but in a way that makes a person feel familiar. When you spend enough time with someone, you start to notice their patterns. And those patterns, those little rituals, become a part of the way you see them. Maybe it's the way she always turns the pillow over to the cold side before going to sleep. Maybe it's how she sings just a little too loud in the car when her favorite song comes on. Maybe it's how she always lingers in bookstores, running her fingers along the spines of books, like she's greeting old friends. Over time, these tiny habits become the things that define her, not in a broad, sweeping way, but in a way that makes her feel like home. The things that stick with us long after a conversation ends, long after a night out is over, long after the years have passed, it's often these little things that stay in a person's memory. Men might not remember what a woman was wearing on a particular day or exactly what she said in a specific moment, but they'll remember the way she tilted her head when she listened, the way she always double knotted her shoelaces, the way she crinkled her nose when she laughed. These little rituals and habits, they matter. They make a person real, and they make a person irreplaceable, because no one else in the world does them exactly like she does. And that's unforgettable. We live in a world that constantly pushes perfection, perfect selfies, perfect outfits, perfect words, perfect lives curated for the world to see. There's this unspoken pressure to always be on, to present a version of ourselves that's polished, filtered, and flawless. But here's the thing, perfection isn't what draws people in. Authenticity is. Men notice this more than you might think. There's something undeniably captivating about a woman who is comfortable in her own skin, not in a never has insecurities kind of way, because let's be real, we all do, but in a way that says, I'm okay with who I am, imperfections and all. That kind of confidence, it's magnetic, it's rare, and it's unforgettable. The beauty of being real, perfection is intimidating. It can feel distant, unattainable, even exhausting to be around. But authenticity, that's what makes people feel connected. It's what makes people feel safe. When someone is real, truly, unapologetically themselves, it gives others permission to be real too. And that's where the magic happens. Men notice the way she laughs too loud when something is genuinely funny, the way she scrunches her nose when she's confused, the way she talks with her hands when she's excited, even if she doesn't realize she's doing it, the way she owns her quirks instead of trying to hide them. It's not about trying to impress, it's about being. A woman who is authentic isn't afraid to say, I don't know, instead of pretending she has all the answers. She isn't afraid to admit when she's had a rough day, instead of putting on a mask that says everything's fine. She doesn't measure her worth by whether or not she fits someone else's definition of perfect. She just is. And that's what men remember. The imperfections that make you irresistible. Think about the people who have left the biggest impact on you. Were they the ones who seemed flawlessly put together all the time? Or were they the ones who let you see them, really see them, their goofy side, their awkward moments, their genuine reactions? Authenticity is what makes someone one of a kind. Men notice the way a woman's voice changes when she's passionate about something. They notice the way she dances a little while cooking, not for show, but just because she's in the moment. They notice the way she stumbles over her words when she's excited, or how she gets that determined look in her eyes when she's focused on something that matters to her. These aren't things she tries to do, they just happen. And that's why they matter, why trying to be perfect works against you. The more we chase perfection, the further we get from ourselves. And the irony, the things we try so hard to fix or hide, those are often the things that make us the most lovable. A woman who is constantly editing herself, second-guessing her every move, and filtering every word she says isn't giving people a chance to see her. She's giving them a version of herself that feels rehearsed, and that's exhausting for her and for the people around her. But a woman who embraces her imperfections, who isn't afraid to say, yeah, I'm a little messy sometimes, I trip over my own feet, I snort when I laugh, that's the woman people remember, because she's not trying to be anyone else. She's fully, confidently her. The right people will love the real you. At the end of the day, the right person isn't looking for someone who's flawless. They're looking for someone who's real, someone who isn't afraid to be silly, to be vulnerable, to be herself. The right person will love you for the things you think you need to hide, the little quirks, the imperfect moments, the ways you're uniquely you. So stop chasing perfection. It's an illusion. Instead, lean into the things that make you different, because that's what makes you unforgettable. And trust me, men notice. At the end of the day, it's not the grand gestures, the flawless appearances, or the carefully curated versions of ourselves that leave the deepest impression. It's the things we don't even realize we're doing, the quiet confidence we carry, the unspoken emotions in our micro expressions, the way we listen, the small rituals that make us us, and the raw, unfiltered authenticity we bring into the world. Men notice these things not because they're looking for perfection, but because they're drawn to realness. The most captivating woman isn't the one who tries the hardest to be noticed. She's the one who is simply herself. The way she smiles when she's genuinely happy, the way she gets lost in thought, the way she unknowingly reveals her true nature in the smallest moments. Those are the things that stay with people. So instead of trying to be what you think the world wants, embrace the things that make you uniquely you. The right people will see it, the right people will remember it, and most importantly, the right people will love you, not for being perfect, but for being real.